Have you ever wondered, really wondered, what the government is prepping for? I'm talking about those what-if scenarios, the kind of stuff that keeps you up at night. Well, a recent leak of FEMA's food list gives us a peek behind the curtain, and it's wild, man. We're talking massive stockpiles of food, and not just your average survival rations. This is next-level stuff. Today, we're diving deep into these secret stockpiles, breaking down what's in them, how they're storing it, and why it should matter to you. First up, we got mountains of rice, and I mean mountains. Picture this. Endless white grains stretching as far as the eye can see. It's like a sea of rice shimmering under the sun. The government's been dropping serious coin on emergency grain storage, especially white rice. These facilities are massive, designed to hold tons of rice to ensure that in times of crisis no one goes hungry. It's a strategic move, really. Now, I know what you're thinking. Rice? That's it? But let's break it down. Rice is a staple food for more than half of the world's population. It's versatile, easy to store, and can be cooked in countless ways. But hold on, man. White rice is like the cockroach of the food world. It's resilient, can survive harsh conditions, and lasts a really long time. You might laugh, but in a survival situation, this is exactly what you need. It's cheap, it lasts forever, and you can make it a million different ways. From a simple bowl of steamed rice to elaborate dishes like biryani or paella, the possibilities are endless. It's a culinary chameleon. We're talking years, decades even, that this stuff can sit in a silo and still be good to go. These silos are engineered to keep the rice fresh and safe from pests and moisture. It's like a time capsule of nutrition. Plus, it's a blank canvas for flavor. You can add spices, veggies, whatever you've got. Imagine a pot of rice simmering with aromatic spices, fresh vegetables, and maybe even some protein if you're lucky. You can add spices, veggies, whatever you've got. The beauty of rice is that it absorbs flavors so well, making every meal a new adventure. It's like a culinary playground. Think of it as survival fuel, man. In a pinch, rice can be the difference between going hungry and having a satisfying meal. It's not just food, it's a lifeline. So next time you see those mountains of rice, remember, it's not just about carbs. It's about survival, versatility, and resilience. Next up, we got beans, but not just any beans. We're talking about the kind that can sustain you through tough times, the kind that pack a punch when it comes to nutrition. Beans have been a staple in diets around the world for centuries, and for good reason. They're versatile, easy to store, and incredibly nutritious. And no, I'm not talking about the kind that make you toot your own horn, although there might be some of that too. Beans are often the butt of jokes, but they are no joke when it comes to their health benefits. They are rich in fiber, which is essential for a healthy digestive system, and they are a great source of protein, which is crucial for muscle repair and growth. We're talking about a nutritional powerhouse here. Fiber, protein, the works. And FEMA knows it. They understand that in times of crisis, having access to nutritious food can make all the difference. That's why they include beans in their emergency food supplies. It's not just about filling bellies. It's about providing the nutrients that people need to stay healthy and strong. They're not just grabbing any old can of beans off the shelf either. FEMA is very particular about the beans they choose. They work with suppliers to ensure that the beans are of the highest quality. This means they are free from contaminants and have been grown and processed under strict standards. They're sourcing these things strategically, making sure they're high quality and safe. Quality control is a big part of the process. Inspectors check the beans at various stages to ensure they meet the required standards. This includes checking for things like mold, pests, and other contaminants that could compromise the safety and quality of the beans. We're talking BPA-free linings in those cans, folks. They're not messing around. BPA, or bisphenol A, is a chemical that has been linked to various health issues, so it's important to avoid it. FEMA ensures that the cans they use are lined with BPA-free materials to protect the health of those who will be consuming the beans. And get this, they're all about transparency. They want you to know exactly where these beans came from, how they were grown, the whole 9 yards. This level of transparency helps to build trust and ensures that people can feel confident about the food they are eating. They want you to know exactly where these beans came from, how they were grown, the whole 9 yards. This means working closely with farmers and suppliers to trace the beans from the field to the can. It's a comprehensive approach that ensures accountability at every step of the process. That's the kind of accountability we need. In times of crisis, Knowing that the food you are eating is safe, nutritious, and responsibly sourced can provide a sense of security and peace of mind. FEMA's approach to sourcing and providing beans is a great example of how thoughtful planning and attention to detail can make a big difference in emergency preparedness. Let's talk about peanut butter, man, the OG survival food. It's calorie-dense, packed with protein and good fats, and it comes in its own practically indestructible container. You can't go wrong with peanut butter, and FEMA knows it. They're stockpiling this stuff by the ton. But it's not just any peanut butter, oh no. We're talking about the good stuff, the kind that's been tested for aflatoxins and all those nasty things that can ruin your day. They're also making sure it's got a long shelf life and that it's produced locally. Powdered milk, not just for babies anymore. Now this one might sound a little strange, but trust me on this. Powdered milk, I know, it's not exactly the most appetizing thing in the world, but it's a lifesaver in an emergency. We're talking essential nutrients, long shelf life, and you can mix it with water. It's basically survival gold. And it's not just for babies anymore. This stuff is crucial for kids and the elderly, especially in a disaster situation. You can add it to recipes, make it into a drink, whatever you gotta do. Vegan MREs. FEMA goes plant-based. Now for all you plant-based eaters out there, don't think FEMA's forgotten about you. They've got you covered with vegan MREs. That's right, vegan MREs. They're packed with nutrients, low in sodium, and they even have their own self-heating system. Talk about convenient. And these aren't your average veggie burgers, folks. We're talking gourmet stuff here. They've got curries, pastas, all sorts of delicious and nutritious options. And the packaging is no joke. It's designed to withstand the apocalypse. Why this matters? Be prepared, not scared. So why does all of this matter? Well, it's simple. Being prepared can make the difference between life and death in an emergency. When disaster strikes, whether it's a natural calamity like a hurricane or earthquake, a pandemic, or even an economic collapse, the last thing you want is to be caught off guard. FEMA is preparing for the worst, and so should you. They have teams working around the clock to ensure that they can respond to any crisis swiftly and efficiently, but their efforts can only go so far. Individual preparedness is equally important. We're talking about natural disasters, pandemics, economic collapse, the whole 9 yards. These events can disrupt our daily lives in unimaginable ways. Imagine not being able to find basic necessities like food, water, or medical supplies. The shelves in grocery stores can empty out in a matter of hours when panic sets in, and in those situations, having access to food and water is going to be crucial. It's not just about having enough to eat and drink. It's about maintaining your health and well-being during a crisis. Emergency food and water supplies can be a lifeline. These stockpiles are FEMA's way of making sure that people have what they need to survive in a crisis. They have warehouses filled with essential supplies, ready to be distributed at a moment's notice. But these resources are finite, and they need to be managed carefully. They're not just throwing stuff in a warehouse and hoping for the best either. There's a lot of planning and coordination that goes into it. They have to consider factors like shelf life, storage conditions, and the specific needs of different communities. They're using data and logistics to make sure that the right supplies get to the right places at the right time. It's actually pretty impressive. They analyze data to predict where the greatest needs will be and plan their logistics accordingly. This level of preparedness can make a huge difference in how effectively we can respond to emergencies. But remember, preparedness isn't just the responsibility of organizations like FEMA. It's something we all need to take seriously. Attending community workshops, learning basic first aid, and having an emergency kit at home are all steps we can take to be better prepared. Families can practice emergency drills at home, so everyone knows what to do if something happens. Teaching children about emergency plans can help them feel more secure and less scared if a real emergency occurs. It's about creating a culture of preparedness. Sharing information and tips on social media or community forums can also help spread awareness and encourage others to take action. The more people who are prepared, the stronger and more resilient our communities will be. Emergency responders often conduct mock disaster drills to practice their response plans. Community participation in these drills can provide valuable insights and help improve overall preparedness. It's a collective effort that requires everyone's involvement. Organizing neighborhood watch groups and discussing emergency plans with your neighbors can also be beneficial. Knowing that you have a support network in your community can provide peace of mind and make a big difference in a crisis. Regularly checking and updating your emergency supplies is another important step. Make sure your emergency kit is up to date and contains everything you might need, including medications, important documents, and contact information. Being prepared doesn't mean living in fear. It means being ready to face whatever comes your way with confidence and resilience. When you're prepared, you can handle emergencies more effectively and help others do the same. So take the time to prepare now, and you'll be ready for whatever the future holds. Look, I'm not saying you need to go out and build a bunker in your backyard, but it's always a good idea to be prepared. If FEMA is prioritizing these specific foods, maybe you should too. Consider adding some of these items to your own emergency food supply. You never know when you might need it. Stay prepared, stay safe, and keep it real.